Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
Ian Busby of the Calgary Sun joins us, and first up on the agenda, the win in Montreal. Now, let's get right to it, because there are those people that said, well, let's assess Drew Tate, and I was one of those guys, after the Montreal game. Big win, big performance. He's got that team's trust and confidence right now. Still room to improve, but looks like he's the guy heading down the stretch.
The one thing that was interesting is the team, every time that they made mistakes, Drew Tate threw a couple interceptions, the team picked it up and made sure that those didn't cause any more angst with points. Really, another one of those efficient games. He's just moving the ball every time he gets a chance, and it's not a really bad formula to go get out to a lead and then maintain it and fight to the end. That's what that's what they're going to do with him. The thing is, he comes out of the gates great in his first two starts, gets points on the board early. That really eases off the pressure on the defense, lets everybody else have a good day, and numbers aren't great, but wins is what that matters most, and that's what they got.
Yeah, and it comes right down to it, and what a great play near the end. They go to green, looks like they're going to have a touchdown, and it looks like it's one.
In the air, I thought that was a touchdown.
I did too. All they had to do, if they would have angled a little more or just put it up a little higher, they had the game won.
Well, the big turning point was the drop by Jamel Richardson. He gets them down there with this amazing grab against Brandon Smith. You couldn't have better coverage than Brandon Smith had on him. And he makes a one-handed grab.
Unbelievable.
Brandon Smith, poor Brandon Smith, is going to be in the highlight reel for two of the great catches of this season. Fred Stamps in week 4. This one this week, and Brandon Smith's going to be this team's nominee for top defensive player. Jamel Richardson has to catch that ball down 15 seconds left, right in the goal line area.
Yeah, that was the game.
It was stunning that he couldn't catch that one, and obviously it had a lot of heat on it because Anthony had to throw it in there hard because the crossing linebackers. It was a play that needed to be made, and it's unfortunate for the Stamps that he didn't make it.
Johnny Nix with the big knockdown, though. What a play.
Yeah. Johnny Dixon, gorgeous. Great coverage, because so many times defensive backs take pass interference penalties on that because they grab at the player while they're trying to get it. He knew his distance, got up, waited to the last second, didn't panic, knocked the ball down. Beautiful play. Really had a quiet game up until that point, and who cares? Made a great play at the end.
I just called him Johnny Nix, didn't I?
Johnny Nix. Is that?
That's short form. My brain isn't working yet. One thing I want to talk to you about was, let's look at Montreal's situation right now, because here they go in and they haven't won there since they've won a Grey Cup game. Montreal, first of all, that secondary is so banged up and depleted. It's not the same people that we've seen over the last few years, and a decision to sit Dwight Anderson at home. It's theirs, but that secondary isn't what it used to be. And Cavillo, I wanted you to talk about both of these. Cavillo was just drilling the hell out of that ball yesterday. Seemed more than he ever does. He was just ripping that in there. Yeah. And some guys were having tough times holding on to it.
Well, and his touch wasn't there for some reason. It hasn't been for the last couple games. And there's something off with that when he got pressured in the Winnipeg game, it felt like he doesn't want to get pressured anymore, so he's zipping the ball out of there as fast as he can to make sure he doesn't get hit. Now, and you look at the secondary of the Alouettes, they're really missing Mark Estelle, especially. That guy was really underrated, and thanks to Nick Lewis, he's not going to play again this year. The interesting part is Johnny Forzani has a great game against them, and they asked him, well, why do you play so well against Montreal? He says, I'm simply faster than their DBs. And when you got an outside receiver who can beat guys on speed, especially on the way he was taking that in route and then taking it to the corner, beating guys to the end zone in speed. That's the telling part. And I think now people are starting to see the formula for beating the Montreal Alouettes. Nobody had the formula until now. Now they do. Pressure Calvillo, get some speed on the DBs. There you go.
It's anybody's game. Right now, you cannot. Maybe you could look at BC and say, okay, this is the hottest team down the stretch, but right now it's anybody's game.
Right, but BC is really banged up.
That's right.
Both sides of the ball, their defensive line is struggling. If Karan Williams is out, that is a huge blow, because that guy is a difference maker as a rush end. And on offense, Paris Jackson, what a nice story that was, but they're going to they would have really liked to have all their offensive weapons together. Whether they can maintain that depth down the stretch will be interesting. Travis Lulay just keeps going and going, and I think that's going to be the West nominee for most outstanding player.
Tired of going to redneck barbecues? Well, you better call Rocky Mountain Barbecue. Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Great tasting food, clean and efficient service. Check us out online or call Rocky Mountain Barbecue.